So, the idea for today is basically just checking out some Leafly comments. Stoners leave really funny reviews on things. And I know I did strain reviews for like quite a decent amount of time in my YouTube career of things. So, I always try to do that in like a fucking scientific lab coat type way. I try to be all like, "Oh, you get these very specific effects." And after reading through just a few strain review comments, I was going at about the entirety of it wrong. Like, people are describing things in ways that I've never even like thought of nor experienced. I almost feel like reading some of these comments is like reading anti-drug PSAs because I want the weed that they're smoking. Bee's knees, cat's pajamas. Although these are incredibly accurate, they do not come close to encompassing my view on Gorilla Glue. When Sir Smokes-a-Lot gets a pound of Mr. Nice Guy's Swedish Chiba, he immediately knows how he can smell it through the bag, baby! Well, if you're within 10 yards of this flower, your sense of smell will be climaxing from the sweet, piney spice of those little green buds that you just want to shove them in your mouth and eat them so much. Aw crap, I just licked my computer screen. What the fuck am I reading? The sativa effect is most noted in my experience, starting out pretty heavy. I noticed this when I was in the bathroom upstairs in my office, of which my wife has been trying to get me to keep the door shut, even when no one is in there. Why do we need to know this? Her solution to get me to remember, to booby trap me with the computer keyboard outside the door, so I would trip and remember to close the door. Not the coolest thing she's ever done, but very effective. I got to thinking, I'm 35 and I remember getting in trouble for messing with my family. Apple aisle without permission. Is that a computer? Because my parents thought I would break it somehow. And those things were indestructible. I mean, I'm pretty sure I remember having an entire dinner plate firmly inserted into the floppy drive at one point. And that didn't even void the warranty. Nowadays, technology has apparently become so advanced and electronics have become so common that we are willing to use their components as booby traps to teach our spouses lessons. One paragraph in. Here's what we know about the weed. Takes away his back pain. Also, his wife booby trapped him in his computer office because he could not remember to keep that darn door shut. So I think the most effective way to make sure your husband closes his office door is to booby trap him with a computer keyboard and then make sure he tells the internet about it. As I sat there pondering this after inhaling the beautiful pharmaceutical known as Gorilla Glue, it occurred to me, this stuff was 100% legit. I think it occurred to all of us. You're a full fucking paragraph in telling us about your wife and your problems regarding you not being able to close your office door, presumably because you're too fucking stoned and or writing entire paragraphs on Leafly. This stuff was 100% legit. Not the inconsiderate type of weed that we all smoked in high school because it was the best stuff around at the time. You know, the kind where you're headed out with your friends so you pack a bowl at your buddy's parents' house who are out of town before you go out for the night. Then once you're stoned and ready to leave, you gotta wait for your buddy to finish a turkey sandwich. Then you start to wish you had snuck another hit or two in the rotation because you're already starting to come down and get the yawns. No, Gorilla Glue number 4 is the kind of considerate weed that holds the door for your mom, texts you on your birthday, and if you spend the night and fall asleep on the couch early, covers you up with a blanket so you don't wake up cold. Gorilla Glue hangs with you for the perfect amount of time. Doesn't cut out early like your buddies after you have a party at their place. Bro, he's going so descriptive here that I'm struggling to like on the fly go with these. No. Gorilla Glue is there for you, making sure you're taken care of. Until it lets me down, it's my go-to strain. Taste, unreal. Smell, off the charts. Effects, totally killer. What more are you looking for? If you want something that will put you to sleep, this isn't it. If you want something that will give you full body buzz and no cerebral euphoria, one of the fucking most common words I use, great show, apparently just completely forgot the word. Like, this is legit. I only have 150 words, but I need to stretch it to 300. So let's write about fucking my wife booby trapping me in my office. Like, It's very big high school. I need to write an extra 150 word energy. But I like his heart. I like his compassion. I like where he's at. So this is for wedding cake, not the food, the strain. It's me and my husband's 13-year anniversary today, and we wanted to get something smoked together. Aw. This was a great choice on this special day. We smoked a gram joint while staring out at the waterfront, watching boats and seagulls and jellyfish and other weird creatures that we're still not really sure we really saw. I blanked out for about a minute contemplating whether that jellyfish was really an octopus, because that'd be cool. So yeah, recommend. Now we're eating tacos. Solid review, bro. Like, are jellyfish really octopus? Did you see any of it? The world may never know, but those tacos, fire. That would sell me. Like, if this was on the back of a packaging, I would probably buy whatever they were selling. Last night I got high for the first time since 1986. Holy shit. That's like 40 plus years. Was into the scene during the college years, 1978 and 82. Was that even weed that you were smoking? I think you were probably just smoking the leaves of the weed plant at that point. Multiple dead shows, etc. Then got married and started a new life, which did not include weed, Sag. Years go by, kids turn into people, my body aches from past sports and work, touched by depression. Bro, you're like 60 and like everything except the kids. I'm right here with you, bud. This is why I smoke weed and I'm 26. Watched the marijuana revolution from the sidelines and finally decided to see if it could help me. Smart man. So while visiting my people in DC this weekend, I asked them to hook me up and receive wedding cake. Honestly, fucking good friends too. Like, as a starting strain, wedding cake's pretty solid. Like a kind of indica leaning, euphoric, body heavy. That's a good fucking friend group. Figured out the vape pen, part of my own, loaded the cartridge, 845, yada yada. Took one decent hit off a vape pen? My guy, you've not smoked weed in 40 years. You probably used to smoke like the fucking leaves of the plant with a couple seeds intermixed, and your friends gave you a vape cart? You wild, you mad lad. Took one decent hit. First hour was truly bizarre. Bro, you were actually probably tripping. That was a psychedelic experience. Had a hard time coordinating my hands. Trying to pick up a glass of water was comical. Then my mind started deep analysis, and I mean deep. Had some paranoid thoughts, but was able to quickly turn them off. Experienced pro, he's a deadhead, of course. By 11 p.m., almost 2.5 hours after the hit, things calmed down. This morning I woke up incredibly well rested. Usually my hip and knee pain wake me up several times, but not last night. Current thoughts, I'm looking for 2 things. Aiming for pain management with help with my depression, and 2, replacement for alcohol. Nice. I think this dude may have truly found his like new fucking vibe. My diet is ruined. The Weather Channel is hilarious. I'm gonna give that one a helpful. Oh fuck. Actually, the funniest part about this review is the fact that 277 people also found that helpful. Like, diet is also ruined. Weather Channel is also hilarious. Also, the Weather Channel is hilarious? I don't know if I've ever been Weather Channel's funny high. This is literally a me review. Let me start off by saying that I'm not personally a big fan of most versions and phenos of the famed Purple Kush, although I don't hate it. Like, that's the me review, right? And then there's also this dude. When you're smoking, you might be thinking, oh, this shit isn't getting me stoned, until it hits you. It hits you everything at the same time, from your legs to your ears. And music feels amazing. You feel in great control of your body. Also, food, man, has never tasted this orgasmic. Like, this is a great contrast of the different types of cannabis reviews. There's people that review it very, the pheno was not quite the way that I wanted it to be. And then there's hits you from your legs to your ears, and music feels amazing. This guy is a hugger. It crashes into your body after a few puffs with its candy taste and euphoric head high. Things slow down and your body starts to want to chill. Great for my arthritis. This guy is a hugger. That sentence that sounds like something that you don't want a girl in high school to say about you. Yeah, this guy's a hugger. Every time he walks through the hall, he wants a fucking hug. Don't be that guy. I always forget that in the early days, this is such OG medical California days, right? We all thought we were so subtle, being like, I didn't buy weed. Nah, I walked in and like I donated money to them, and like the collective just gave me weed. It's like being like, no, I didn't buy weed from that dude. Like, I walked by him, he dropped weed on the ground, I dropped money on the ground. It was a universal accident. I bent down thinking that I was picking my money up, accidentally grabbed the weed, and he picked the money up. It was a fucking slip of the mind. Like, I'm just a little confused by what they're even going for here. Bumbooch. Like, is this a saying that I was not aware of in 2016, or are they just like fully making things up at this point? This right here is my fave so far. It's even got me wanting to rate it. I'm a top shelf, give me the strongest shit type of guy, and this right here is the business. Oh god, these are the worst customers, bro. Actually, I'm sorry, like, I'm glad this guy's name is not fully called out, because like, I hate to say, having friends that work in dispensaries, you're the worst type of customer. At the same time, kind of not though. Like, the guy that walks in and is like, yo, give me the strongest fucking shit you got. Like, you're not going to listen to the suggestions, and the fact that the bud tender is probably like, okay, you probably want high THC, but just listen. This one's slightly lower THC, but there's terpenes, and the terpenes are going to make you feel higher. Fuck that, bro. Give me the fucking strongest shit you got. High THC, bumbooch. Like, okay, man. Fucking go for it, bud. It's not about THC. It's not about the size of the THC that matters. It's about how you work with the terpenes, you know? And that's not something that the strain that is compensating for having little terpenes says. That's a truth in cannabis. I feel like this is my this is like my this is my stoner state of address from see, this is what I'm saying, Leafly. You got to be careful with the way that you're fucking censoring names, because this fucking letter blank 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 fucking thing, there's room for it to just look like weird words. All I'm trying to say. From our friend Casey, CK. Jesus, they're trying to make me say words that I can't say on Twitch. The Bare Aspirin of Bud that should be in every medicine cabinet. That's actually pretty, you know, the thing about Blue Dream is like, it kind of is the Bare Aspirin of Bud, but I would more call it like the Budweiser of strains, because it's like, you know, kind of tastes like piss, and it's all watered down, not very quality. This is from BL. It turned me into the tallest tree in the forest, where owls mated upon my limbs. Bro, that might not have been weed. Like, if that was weed, like, let me get some of that owl mating on my limbs type weed. That sounds like, honestly, that sounds like a really stoned way of saying what the first person did, and being like, you know, super euphoric, my body felt good, physical sensation was increased. Like, that was a very well drawn out way of saying what this person did, by being like, it turned me into a tall tree in the forest, and like there was owls that like mated on my limbs, dude. The white cookies are a man's best friend, fellas. I feel like the last one that was written about like physical enhancement was definitely written from like a female point of view. This one is much more two sentence, to the point. Vibrations up, smoke it, fellas. Got you. This last one in comparison, I just want to go back really quick. Like, I almost feel like this one was probably written from more of like a female perspective, where it was like, far and away the best train for sex, extremely similar headspace and tactile sensations, amplifies your sense of touch, exponentially making it perfect. It allows you to give as much as receiving, which is no small benefit. Absolutely zero anxiety. Fucking dude, get it, fellas. Oh. Very, very same message, different fucking perspectives. Sometimes you just want to get high because getting high feels good. If you don't want to get loaded to write the next great American novel, or shred some powder up in Whistler, or frag some noobs on Counter-Strike, you just want to get high and groove to Pink Floyd. Well, Girl Scout Cookies knows all about your cravings for some melodious prog rock goodness. So, a millennial. Have you ever heard about this thing where if you start Dark Side of the Moon at the same time as you take the first hit of Girl Scout cookies, you'll be so high to the tits that by the time Speak to Me ends and the buzz lasts about as long as the wall? Bro, I can't. It's true. The weed loves Pink Floyd as much as that. So much that it even makes the David Gilmour era stuff sound good. This dude is such a big fan of Pink Floyd. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. You know as a Floyd fan that if you stop listening at the final cut... What if you're not a fucking Floyd fan? This is such a deep cut, my guy. This is such a deep cut. This is what I've been smoking recently when I don't need to do anything. If you're like me, you'll want to make sure the floor is clear of any tripping hazards, your laptop's away from water. Bro, what have you done while you were high? Set out some snacks before you start smoking and make sure you're in a safe environment. Hybrids generally put me on a couch more than indicas, but Girl Scout cookies makes fine motor skills especially hard. I'm just a little... Are you implying that you tripped over a glass of water and spilled it onto your computer at some point? I don't know if that was the weed. That was just, I think, probably clumsiness. First time I smoked this, I had a little too much. Stood up, got dizzy, ears ringing, tried to put my bong back in a high cupboard, fainted, and ended up knocking over a box of biscuits that my cat later peed on. It was a mess. My bong was thankfully okay. If you're like me, don't hesitate to pack a small bowl and go back for another one. And okay, sir or ma'am, however you identify, you need to see a doctor. That's not normal. Fainting when you stand up is like, it's usually like a blood pressure thing, or like that's not a normal thing. Like, it wasn't the strain that necessarily did that. I think it was probably like your dehydration or lack of like healthy dieting or vitamin deficiency. Like, that should maybe see a doctor if you're standing up and passing out. Low blood sugar, yeah. Like, there's something that's not quite right. It's not necessarily the weed.